I'm not kidding when I say that in my over 6,000 hours of experience playing Team Fortress 2, this challenge has gotta be the most difficult, infuriating, and unfair thing I've ever done. And now, you get to see every step of that agonizing, nightmarish journey. This is my third video I've done where I try to get 1,000 kills with TF2's unused and unloved weaponry. And with this series, I intend to answer one simple question. With enough experience, can you get good with any weapon in the game? So, I am taking this series to its furthest logical extreme by getting 1,000 kills with the Righteous Bison, the worst weapon in TF2. And that's not all, because I have set a hard cap of 7 days to complete the challenge. If I can't accomplish 1,000 kills in 7 days, I lose. If you don't believe me when I say that the Righteous Bison is the worst weapon in TF2, then keep watching, because I can guarantee that by the end of this video, you are going to agree with me. So stay tuned, because what follows is the most painful 7 days of TF2 I have ever had the misfortune of experiencing. But first, consider visiting today's sponsor, Manco Store. It's a marketplace where you can buy and sell items for all of your favorite Valve games like TF2, Counter-Strike, and Dota 2. You could buy your very own snazzy Righteous Bison for your own for prices cheaper than you could get on the yucky Steam Marketplace, PU. Or you could instead elect to buy a really cool weapon that doesn't make you want to cry while taking a cold shower. They take payment with card, Apple Pay, crypto, and more. Unfortunately, they don't take payment in Thewhat tokens, so sorry, you're still stuck with those. Got some useless items taking up valuable backpack space that you could instead be filling with Pompton 6000s? No worries, you can sell all of your unwanted items on Manco, free up backpack space, and get some fat stacks doing it. It's a win-win. They're even doing a massive giveaway right now of 3 golden frying pans. You don't have to pay or anything, just one mouse click and you're in. Friggin' sweet. So get yourself over to Manco Store right now, or I'll quit making videos forever and pursue my true passion of being a court jester. Thank you for sponsoring the channel once again, Manco Store. Now, let's get some bison kills. Now, let's lay down some ground rules before diving in. First off, the only primary weapon I'll be allowed to use is the rocket jumper. I can only play on Valve servers, and lastly, I am allowing myself one cheat day where I can call in some friends to assist me by being a pocket medic. Besides these core rules, anything is on the table. And believe me, even with this rule set, it was not gonna be easy. But I had some confidence going in because I've had more hands-on experience with the Bison than your average player has. I wouldn't be starting from a place of complete ignorance because I'm already well aware of the ins and the outs of the Bison, and my experience with it would be very helpful over the next 7 days. So, I equipped my snazzy new Collector's Righteous Bison. How much did it cost? I don't want to talk about it. Here we are. We are about to take our first baby steps in what is going to be a very long, soul-crushing, arduous experience. Do you hear the joy and the whimsy in my voice? Well, don't get used to it because you are about to hear every last morsel of hope in my voice get repeatedly squandered over the course of these next few days until there is no happiness left. Oh, please! Oh, that's our first one! Baby steps. 1 kill, 8 hits. So for every 8 times I hit somebody, I might get a kill. My established relationship with the Bison is a bit of a double-edged sword, because while it means I have enough experience to know how to use it, it also means I am well aware of how much this challenge was gonna suck. Your average player already knows that the Bison is an awful weapon, but most people lack the experience to fully comprehend the full extent of it. I feel as though I'm part of a select few people who actually know just how bad this thing can get. See, the Bison isn't like your average weapon. The way it functions is downright bizarre. Typically, when you shoot someone with a weapon in TF2, they take 1 instance of damage. The Bison is not that simple. The way damage is calculated with the Bison is based on how long the projectile makes contact with the enemy's hitbox. So, when the projectile makes contact with an enemy, it will instantly deal 1 chunk of damage like normal. But then, a very short timer will activate. And when the timer is up, if the projectile is still making contact with the enemy, it will deal another chunk of damage. This short timer will continually activate until the projectile stops making contact with the enemy. So ideally, the Bison is more beneficial on enemies running away from you, because the backwards momentum of the enemy increases the time your projectile makes contact with them. And when an enemy is running towards you, the Bison will deal less damage because they spend less time making contact with the projectile. Now you may be thinking, Thewhat, that doesn't sound so bad. But things can only get worse with the Bison. On average, the Bison's projectile will tick twice when striking an enemy, and the base damage of each tick with the Bison is 20 damage. 24 damage with maximum ramp up. So assuming that at close range the Bison ticks twice for about 22 damage each, you can expect to deal roughly 44 damage per shot. Now, let's put it further into perspective. Assuming the Righteous Bison deals the average 44 damage per shot, that means it requires 3 shots to take down a light class. To take down a medic, 4 shots. To take down a heavy, 7 shots. It's worth noting here that the Bison can only hold 4 shots at a time. And this is all operating under the assumption that the Bison even deals the average amount of damage per shot, because with the Bison, things can only get worse. Oh. 20 damage? 20 damage. That's right, your eyes aren't deceiving you. I shot that sniper, and it did 21 damage. 21? As you'll come to find out, the Bison's damage output is anything but reliable. While most of the time you can expect to deal about 40 damage per shot, the Bison's projectile hitbox is so broken that many times the projectile will only tick a single time. And as I mentioned earlier, the Bison's base damage value is 20. Here's a short list of items in TF2 that deal more than 20 damage. With 4 shots of the Righteous Bison, you can deal less damage than a single shot from the stock shotgun, which remember, the Bison is supposed to be a side grade for. So, I've consigned myself to using a weapon that only holds 4 shots, has one of the slowest projectiles in the game, and has a high probability of dealing about 20 damage per shot. Going forward, these 20 damage ticks are going to be the bane of my existence, and a large reason of why this challenge is borderline impossible. But as we continue, you'll see for yourself how it gets even worse.
Complete in 60 seconds.
I appear to have sticky trapped myself.
You have- No! You had so much to live for! Still taking my first baby steps into the challenge, I would eventually find myself in a lobby on Thunder Mountain. And it was here that I would discover my first real strategy for reaching 1,000. I'm not proud of it, but I'm a desperate man, and desperate times call for desperate measures. Medic, are you running crits? Oh, that's disappointing. Look, if you want to do something funny, you can run stock and do the good play, or you can be with me and do the funny play where you run crits, and I use the Bison, and then we get like 2 kills. Isn't that cooler? Thank you, you see the vision. My strategy is begging for pocket medics. Check out, we're gonna get like 3 kills. Oh my god. Oh, we got one. We got one. It was a bit underwhelming. Hold on, check this angle out. I feel like this is very good positioning. I just died to the saw stick! Oh, that's a taunt right there, buddy. Oh yeah, baby. That's what it's all about. After the match ended and only half an hour into the challenge, I had managed to score 21 kills.
21?
This was an uncharacteristically good start for the Bison, as I was averaging a kill roughly every 1.5 minutes. But the next few hours of gameplay would prove that this was a giant fluke, because it wouldn't take very long for reality to set in. Did I see a scout go up here? 40 damage twice? 40 damage! Point blank, shots connect, 40 damage. Oh my god. I'm gonna have an aneurysm. This challenge is gonna kill me. Die! I hit 3 shots! 3 shots and it did nothing! It did nothing! Wait, sniper? Easy pick here? Easiest pick of my life? Oh my god! Not only was I struggling with the challenge because of the abysmal damage output of the Bison, I was also struggling to use the dreadfully slow projectile. Even on the most oblivious of players, I would whiff all of my shots, and I would constantly try to overcompensate for the slow projectile speed by rapidly flicking my mouse, which would cause my shots to miss. Easy! It's too easy! Going forward, my tendency of flicking my mouse was a bad habit I needed to break. And I was going to need a lot of practice with the Bison to develop the muscle memory to get consistent results. And, for better or worse, I had over 900 kills to do just that. 35 kills. Not even a tenth of the way there. Oh my, that hurt to say out loud. That physically hurt to say out loud. As time marched forward, I kept running into misfortune after misfortune as nothing went right. After a particularly terrible match on Harvest, where I was devoured alive by a swarm of angry Scotsmen, I knew I needed a change of pace, because I was one bad match away from becoming a Fortnite YouTuber. Okay, I feel like I gotta do something that I really didn't want to do, but I feel like I gotta do it. Because so far, this is getting progressively worse and more horrible and terrible and awful. I feel like I gotta go to Dust Bowl. I feel like it's the only way. Because it's just progressively getting worse. I'm not even a 20th of the way there. Oh my god. I queued myself up for a map I've spent the last 10 years of my life trying to avoid. Dust Bowl. I think Dust Bowl is a restrictive, claustrophobic, chaotic mess of map design. But as it so happens, all the reasons I despise Dust Bowl are the exact reasons why it would be a great place to try out for the challenge. The many linear cramped hallways of the map meant it was going to be a lot harder for enemies to dodge my projectiles, and the tight choke points meant I'd be able to take advantage of the Bison's player penetration. If there was ever a place to use the Bison, this was it. If I struggled to get kills here, it would be a horrible omen for the path ahead. It's Dust Bowl last. If I can't make the Bison work here, it won't work anywhere. This is as choky as it gets.
Yo, is that a collector's Bison? That's insane, I love it.
I got a question. Do you like burgers?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Do you,
That's pretty cool.
Do you like pizza?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Do you like gummy bears?
Do you guys like burgers and friends?
I do like burgers, and I do like playing with my friends, and I do like Skittles and learning about colors. These are all some of my favorite things to do.
I really like burgers and friends.
You like playing with your friends too? I also like playing with my friends.
I love playing with my friends.
Wait, I'm playing with my friends right now.
I'm also playing with my friends right now.
I'm playing with my
Who are your
friends.
friends? Who are your friends?
Actually, I got a question. I got one last question for you. Are you a winner or are you a loser? Because there's two types of people in this world. There's winners and losers. And if you want to start being a winner, you gotta go Crits Creed Meg and pocket me. There we go. We have a winner. Steel OO is a winner. Thankfully, using my boundless charisma and roguish charm, I was able to successfully beg my way into having a pocket medic. And harnessing the power of friendship, we would begin to rapidly make progress towards 1,000 kills. Oh, it's gonna be huge, it's gonna be huge. Oh, we got 2 kills that time. That was huge indeed.
And that just won us the game. That just won us the game.
The game's over, guys. It's basically over at this point. You don't even have to try anymore. Check out hero moment. No way! You're welcome, guys. That Dust Bowl match was the morale boost I sorely needed. But I did decide to stop playing on Dust Bowl. Even if it had worked out in my favor, there was a big downside to playing on Dust Bowl. And that's playing on Dust Bowl. A sacrifice I was not willing to make. However, even if I didn't continue playing on Dust Bowl, I was able to utilize what I learned over the course of the challenge. For starters, I learned that the warm-up and match-ending phases of a round were very valuable, as enemies would either be friendly or completely defenseless. These periods of time were the proverbial free space on a bingo card, and I needed to maximize every second. Yeah, go on, dance with them! Meat for the grinder, that's all you are to me, you're meat for the grinder. I also learned the value of random crits. I couldn't rely on this strategy as a crutch because of how RNG dependent it is, especially considering that random crit chance skills with damage done, and the Bison deals 20 fucking damage! But if there was an opportunity to take some pot shots at a control point or a payload cart, I should do it, because there was always the chance that I would be blessed. As the day continued, I began to work on refining my muscle memory. Breaking down bad habits is a hard pill, but I was going to have to swallow it if I wanted to see any real form of improvement. And as I progressively grew better at using the slow-ass projectile, I was actually able to start getting some pretty cool kills. Like this clip, where I sniped this retreating scout with 2 perfectly placed projectiles. Mwah! Oh my god. No dispenser? Please don't tell me I have to resign to my fate. Oh. Let's go. Oh my god. Ooh, that's one.
The control point is being contested.
There's another. The 3-piece? Oh my god, the 3-piece? The 4-piece? Hello? We're almost at 100. We're 1 away from the 100. Hey, get the fuck out of here! That's 100! After hours of playing, I was finally able to score 100 kills, successfully making it through 10% of the challenge. But even if I was slowly progressing and getting better with the projectile, I was given constant reminders of how hard this was gonna be. Take a look at this clip, where I fight an enemy soldier on Venice. I rocket jump in and perfectly hit 4 projectiles in a row, expending every shot in my clip. However, because I'm using the Righteous Bison, each shot does roughly 44 damage, and the soldier kills me and escapes with 14 health. If just one of my projectiles ticked an extra time, this soldier would have died and I would have lived. I did everything right, and the only reason I died was because I had bad luck with the projectile's janky hitbox. Needless to say, I took it pretty well. The 4 hits! 4 hits! 4 point-blank shots! 14 health left. Dude, this weapon, I swear to God, I should've, by all means, I had him in the palm of my hand. I could've squished him like a bug between my pointer and my index finger, and it did nothing. Because nothing matters. Your life is meaningless. The Bison does 40 damage. Oh my God. I hit him with the nipple twister. That's my signature move. That's what I'm gonna call it. The nipple twister. Hey buddy, I don't mean to alarm you, but you just got owned by the Bison. How do you feel?
Holy shit, is that the what?
No. After playing for a while longer, I would eventually find myself in a sawmill lobby, where I would witness the first example of a strange phenomenon that would persist throughout the entire duration of the challenge. Another friendly soldier saw me using the Bison and equipped it for himself. It was a simple case of monkey see, monkey do, and this would be far from the last time it would happen either. This happened so many times throughout the entire challenge, and I like to call these occurrences an example of Bison compulsion phenomenon. If you ever find yourself using the Bison, first off, don't, but keep an eye out for other people in the lobby switching to the Bison as well. You can recreate the phenomenon for yourself. And I don't get it, it doesn't make sense to me. The Bison is one of the worst, least fun to use items in video game history. But when someone sees one in-game, some primal part of their brain feels compelled to use it as well. And this particular case of Bison compulsion phenomenon was rather intense as well, because eventually, my entire team switched to playing Bison Soldier. Well, after a little coaxing, of course. I feel like we could win if we were all using the Bison. We could win even harder.
Alright. I say we do that.
I mean, it's got 3 positive attributes and only 1 negative attribute, so it's really solid.
For America!
Whee! Oh my God! Dude, no way!
Oh my God.
I just air shot him with the Bison and did 20 damage.
I'll keep it a buck. There is a person who does pay me for pictures of my feet.
How much money? Before I judge, how much money?
$10 per day. $10 per day.
$10 a day? Is that like per feet pick?
It's per batch.
You're selling yourself short. $10 for a batch? You...
That's what everyone says. Hey, listen,
that's bad business. That's just bad business.
I've got brangly toes.
You got like fucking hobbit feet? Big ol' hairy ass hobbit feet? Like, cause I could see that being less valuable. After that flavorful conversation, I decided that was a good place to leave it for the night. I had been playing for a long time, and I needed some well-earned rest. I feel like that's a good one to end it on. What are we at? What are we at? Let's see the grand total. 156. We are a little over a 10th of the way there. It's a start. Overall, day 1 had a few low points, but thanks to a couple great matches where I was able to perform especially well, my strange count kept chugging along at a decent pace. My biggest problem going forward is whether or not I'll be able to keep my patience, because only one day of using the Bison had me seriously tweaking out at points. So going forward, I was going to need the patience of a saint, and I was gonna need to be mentally prepared, because day 2 was gonna put me to the test. And we are back on day 2. We ended day 1 with 156 kills, so we made some decent progress. This day I'm rocking the Batman getup. I even got a spicy little profile picture up here. And let's just jump right into it, because it's not gonna get any easier. I started out day 2 by playing on Harvest, where things got off to a pretty rough start. But considering I'm using the Righteous Bison, that's pretty par for the course. I was getting some kills here and there, but it was in this match that the randomized nature of the Bison was really starting to rear its ugly head. Take a look at this clip. There's an oblivious sniper right around here, I think, and he is none the wiser to what I'm about to hit him with. He's none the wiser! Oh my god, dude! I approach a completely stationary sniper, oblivious to my presence. This should be a free kill, right? I mean, you'd think so. I get myself into position and fire a shot that somehow deals 96 damage. I fire a second shot, but for some reason, it only deals 24 damage. There was an over 70 damage difference between these two shots, and because of that, the sniper lives with 5 health, nearly kills me, and I'm forced to use the shovel to finish him off, so this kill didn't even count towards the challenge. Think that's egregious? Let's play a little game I like to call, How Much Damage Will the Bison Deal This Time? Take a look at this clip from Process. I approach a demo man, and he walks towards me. Type in the comments how much damage you think the Bison did with this shot. Call your parents right now and tell them how much damage you think it did. Because that's right, the Bison did 150 damage for no goddamn reason. Remember, the Bison is supposed to be used against retreating enemies. This demo man was walking towards me, and for some reason, I dealt triple the damage. The absolute twisted irony about this clip is that I wasn't even able to get the kill with the Bison because my follow-up shot only deals 44 damage. The demo man only dies because he blows himself up like a doofus. What happened here? I'm not understanding. This item makes 0 sense. Oh, and what about this clip where I encounter an AFK scout? I shoot once, and the projectile takes 3 times and deals 63 damage. I fire a follow-up shot from the same exact angle against a stationary target, and it only ticks twice for 44 damage. I can only offer one explanation as to what could cause this. This weapon is possessed by a demon. I feel like by now I've thoroughly made my case that the Bison's damage is completely random. It doesn't matter if an enemy is running away from you, running towards you, or is completely stationary. The Bison's damage output comes down entirely to luck. Even after reviewing dozens of hours of footage of me using the Bison, I still have 0 idea how this item calculates damage. The Bison is an untamable beast, and I am at its mercy. And as day 2 continued, it felt like I had a hex placed on me by an evil warlock because everything was going wrong. Wait, is there like no sentry guns? There's like no sentry guns! This gives me an idea. Dude, we got the juiciest flank right now! Okay, maybe Badwater was a good decision. He doesn't know, man. He doesn't. Like, can I not get up? Oh shit, this is bad. This is bad. This is.
All he does is he shoots those fucking stupid grenades. There he goes with the stupid grenades again. There he goes with the grenades.
Man, will you stop complaining about this guy and his stupid grenades? All you sit here to do is complain, complain, complain. Man, this stupid fucking soldier with his rockets, god damn it.
Oh, I am man.
I am a man. Will you be my man?
I'm everyone's man. I'm a man of the people, really. Like, I feel like my purpose in life is to spread joy and whimsy to everyone.
Could be a little whore. Will you a little whore for me?
What? After a long series of unfortunate events that battered down any sense of confidence I had left, I joined a match of Process thinking it would just be like all of the others. However, something about this game was a bit different. And we're going back. The double dip. Okay, there we go. It only took like 5 shots, but we got it. I was getting consecutive kills, and after a while, they began to add up. I somehow managed to worm my way into a 9 kill streak with 0 assistance from pocket medics. This was the highest kill streak I had gotten so far, and I was intent on seeing how high I could go. Guys, we have to hold last like our life depends on it. I'm on like an 8 kill streak with the Bison. I don't want to lose this. I worked so hard for it. I won't go kaboom if we lose this per se, but I will cry and I will force you to listen to it. I did 100 damage? That was 100 damage in a single Bison shot, dude. I swear to God, this weapon's a randomizer. He wasn't even touching the projectile for that long. Please, save me! Save me! No, my 10 kill streak!
You did tell us to do this.
I warned you! I said I would cry! Even if my kill streak had come to an unfortunate end, it was a small injection of confidence that gave me the energy to continue, and I was gonna need it, because I was right back to suffering. Wait, hold on, I see that sniper. Yeah, get out of here! Oh! I managed to slog my way past 200 kills, but my prolonged use of the Bison was really starting to wear me down. And during a game of King of the Hill, it was starting to get really evident that I was growing increasingly annoyed.
Alert. The control point is being captured.
I'm already dead. Nothing matters! Nothing matters! I hit him 3 times! Nothing fucking matters! I'm gonna crash out. 20 damage. Oh, how many hits was that? That was 3 shots at fucking point blank range. Dude. It was at this point that the Righteous Bison went from a nuisance to actively infuriating. I was starting to become tilted. If you're unaware, tilt is a state of mind that occurs when you get mad at a video game like a middle schooler. Your annoyance at your performance begins to cloud your judgment, causing you to play worse. And because you're performing worse, you start to get angrier, which causes you to play worse, and so on and so forth. It's a very nasty negative feedback loop, and as it so happens, the Bison just so happens to be the perfect tilt-inducing machine. I don't think there's any worse feeling in the world than doing everything right and hitting all of your shots with one of the worst projectiles in the game, only to deal tickle damage because luck wasn't on your side. All of the constant low damage ticks were starting to piss me off. It was only day 2 of the challenge, and I was already fed up with the Bison. A sane man would have given up already. However, I am not a sane man. Hold on, let me cook. Dude, I'm actually gonna fucking lose it. $22 damage. 22 damage. That means 22 damage per shot. If I shot that scout 5 times in a row for 20 damage each, he would still be alive. I could have shot him with a full clip, reloaded a shot, shot him again, and he would still be alive. Considering the state of the challenge and me getting progressively more ticked off as time went on, I decided to fall back on old reliable of begging for a pocket medic in voice chat. However, fate decided it would cruelly kick me when I was down, because if there was any single match throughout the challenge that proved that pocket medics weren't a complete crutch, it was this one. Okay, they use. We're gonna wait it out and then we pop. That was my last hope. Now all my hope left in humanity is gone. That was all I had left. Okay, we're gonna sit back here and you're just gonna pop it when you have it.
I'm popping it as soon as I get it.
Frame 1, pop that shit. Okay, let's do this.
Control point is being contested.
I perish. I couldn't get around with you.
Oh man. This isn't planning out like I thought it would.
What's your thoughts on weapon reskins?
Weapon reskins are... Wait, check this out. We're gonna take a flank path that no one ever cares about. No one ever comes around here. We're digging deep in that back line, but trust me, this is gonna work out.
I like digging.
I like digging too. Like, are you kidding me? He killed himself. He killed you and killed himself. Murder suicide.
He said no one would be there.
I feel like this this hallway right here is gonna be perfect bison material. Oh, pop it, pop it. Oh, I'm gonna scream. I'm gonna do it. Ah! Not even a dedicated pocket medic could bail me out of the hole I had dug for myself. And things would only continue to get more desperate and pathetic. I mean, at times, things would get downright embarrassing. Don't do what I think you're about to do. Please, for the love of God. Please! I'm just a boy! I'm just a sweet innocent boy! Please don't do it! Please! Please, I'm begging you, please don't do it! I'm having a mental collapse right now! What is happening? I like watching SpongeBob and playing with my friends. What do you guys think? I also like Skittles.
Oh, I love Skittles.
And chicken nuggets.
I'm a fan of the... Have you guys had... Okay, real talk shit though. Have you guys ever had whatchamacallits? They're really fucking good.
I think they're horrible.
Kill yourself! Mr. Show, can you please pass on a message to Mr. Blue? My message is, weapon reskins in TF2.
After way too many hours of bison torture, I made it to 280 kills. The entire day, it seemed like nothing worked out in my favor. Between pocket medics dying, constant bad luck preventing me from getting kills, and tilt causing me to perform even worse, I knew I didn't have a lot of energy left to play for the day. So I queued myself up for one last match, hoping that I could catch a break. And let me tell you, things weren't off to a great start, with our team getting pushed back almost to our last point. Thankfully, I had an ace up my sleeve. Dang team, they're pushing us kind of far back. Call it a hunch, but I feel like a really good crits bison push might just do the trick. Thank you. If it took one more time, I would have started begging, and you didn't want to see that. This brave medic's decision to start pocketing me was the turn of the tide. With a pocket medic by my side, I could finally put in some work with the bison. Things were finally looking up for me. Whoa, okay, guess we're going for it. Oh. I'm gonna cry. Thankfully, this moment was nothing but a momentary setback, as we would eventually push back, and I would have my first successful crits push of the day, scoring 2 kills. It's not a lot, but you take what you can get. Not too long after, I would even find myself on a 7-kill streak, a very good sign. I mean, sure, okay, it ended with me getting a random crit to the face, but things were still going better than before. I even crossed the 300 kill mark. We did it! The big 300 has been achieved. There's been a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to make it to this point. And also, it's not even a third of the way there yet. Oh, whoa, that hurt to say. Which, of course, was followed by more agony as to be expected. I hit him 3 times and it did nothing! It's simply that good. The bison is simply that good. What can I say? But whereas earlier, clips like these would completely demoralize me and cause me to freak out, I kept my wits about me and I pushed on. And it was all because of Big Wookie 4's brave decision to help me out in my time of need. Godspeed, Big Wookie 4. I'm alive and I'm suffering.
Okay.
Actively suffering. In pain.
I'm killing you. Killing you.
Pain. Infinite pain. Pain without end.
Whatever, buddy.
Infinite pain, but no pain.
That's just a small peek in my dark, fucked up mind.
Oh my god, shut the fuck up.
Spy Pyro, how's your day been, man, from the hit series, man?
Pain. Infinite pain.
I'm sorry to hear that.
How about you?
Oh my god, it's my birthday today.
Happy birthday!
You know what we gotta do.
Yeah. No shout
Happy,
no.
everyone with me. Everyone in the VC who has a mic, you gotta sing it with me. 3, 2, 1. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to
Thank you.
That's just.
I'm very
Thank you for being in the server.
Blow out the candles.
Thank you.
By the way, I ate your cake, I'm sorry. I got hungry. Okay, well that sounds kind of wrong.
Oh, we gotta. If you couldn't sing, we gotta do it again. I'm not trying to leave anyone out.
Oh yeah, we gotta do it again.
Yeah, we gotta do this again.
Okay, on the count of
do
3.
that shit again.
1, 2, 3. Okay, happy birthday.
Wow, thank you.
It's even better the second time. With the match of Foundry concluded, I logged off for the day and ended at a total of 317 kills. Which means I got 151 kills after spending my entire day with the bison. Even if it ended on a high note, day 2 was an extremely unpleasant exercise in tedium, where it felt like the world itself was against me. Every encounter with an enemy felt like a Sisyphean task, where I needed to overcome extremely brutal odds to even stand a chance at getting a kill. And it was an extremely bad sign, because I wasn't even a third of the way through the challenge yet, and I already felt like I had been pushed to my absolute limit. Things were beginning to feel unsustainable, and the path ahead was uncertain. But I still went to bed that night, fully intent on continuing the next day. I could only hope day 3 would be better than this. And we are back on day 3. Last night, I finished off with around 317 kills. No time like the present, so let's just jump into it. Also, today, I'm using, like, this soldier animation mod because I figured maybe if I use a mod that makes the bison look like it has more oomph, it'll make me feel like it has more oomph, therefore increasing my performance with it. Like a little mental mind game. If you're willing to believe it, day 3 was off to a rough start. Yeah, get ready to hear that one a lot. Thankfully, it was just the start of the day, so I was still in good spirits. It would take a lot to get me as annoyed as I was during day 2, because I only got tilted after hours of playing and torturing myself. But after the day I had yesterday, I knew I needed a change in mindset. See, for the past 2 days, I didn't really have any real strategy. I was just kind of throwing crap at a wall, hoping something would stick. And all I had to show for it is hours of pain. Today, I was hoping to implement some new strategies that could lead to easy setups for kills. It didn't feel like there was a single reliable way to set up a bison kill. That was, until I joined a lobby of Harvest. The match started out normally, with me getting absolutely dumpstered, which I've come to expect, but I noticed one of the enemy snipers had a habit of taunting every time he got a kill. They were standing completely still and couldn't fight back, creating easy openings for kills. And it was then that it struck me. See, he's right there. He goes to this spot every time, and then he shoots the enemy sniper, and then he taunts. That's my opening. That's my window. That's what I gotta capitalize on. I gotta literally kill someone who's stationary and can't even move in order to even stand a chance. But it's a strategy, okay? We do an epic sick rollout. Check this out. And now? Dude, it's that easy! Zem, you just got owned by the fucking bison. How do you feel? How do you feel, man?
I mean, I don't really care.
That's nice. I present to you Operation Oblivious Sniper. Every time I find an Oblivious hardscope sniper, I can approach them, get very close, and aim at a downward angle. Because, for some reason, aiming at a downward angle increases your odds of dealing multiple ticks of damage. Which means that I can somewhat consistently set up a kill on a sniper in 2 clean shots before they can react. This means that, yes, in order to somewhat reliably get a kill with the Righteous Bison, I need to target someone who's standing completely still, unaware of my presence, can't fight back, and aim at a very specific angle to merely increase my odds of dealing more damage. But still, a strategy is a strategy, and after discovering it, I would use it to great effect, decimating the enemy snipers in the lobby and greatly increasing the rate at which I was getting kills. However, it's important to note that with the Bison, nothing is guaranteed. A while after successfully implementing Oblivious Sniper strategy, I would encounter fellow YouTuber Wheezy in a lobby. I did what any self-respecting clout goblin would, and begged Wheezy to let me kill him. But that wouldn't even be necessary, as I got a legitimate kill on him right as the match closed out. So about 3 hours into day 3, I had already found a good strategy and killed a notable community member that I can clickbait the shit out of. After the absolute slog that was day 2, things were finally looking good. With a steady supply of clueless snipers to feed my strange count, I could for sure reach the 1,000 kill threshold. Nice dead ringer, buddy. Let's see, where's he gonna uncloak? Where's he gonna uncloak? Oh boy! Like a book, man. I just read you like Narnia. What the? What? The payload cart just rotated, which distracted the heavy enough to give me an opening to escape. However, keep in mind, even if things were looking better, they still weren't perfect. Are you Not every match was guaranteed to have a clueless sniper I could farm, and considering that's really my only way to set up kills, if there's no Oblivious Sniper, I gotta do things the old-fashioned way. And in that regard, the Bison was still as horrid as ever. Take this clip on Upward for example. I encounter a scout while I'm at 7 health, but through some sense of divine intervention, he whiffs all of his shots, allowing me the time to pick up a large health pack. I fire out a random critical hit that connects with the scout. However, because the Bison is the Bison, it ticks a single time, dealing 60 damage. Not only that, but my follow-up Bison shot only does 44 damage, which means after shooting a scout with a random crit, I needed 2 follow-up shots to even get the kill. Remember, side grade to the shotgun. But in spite of the Bison being dreadful, I finally made it to 400 kills, passing another 100 kill threshold and inching me ever closer to the elusive final goal. So I just kept on chugging, killing all of the Oblivious Snipers in my path and trying my hardest to stay in good spirits.
Man, where the free-to-play players at, man? Welcome!
Wait, is voice free now? Can free?
It's free! All players can use voice commands!
The free-to-plays have been liberated!
We won! Grab your friends, tell them to install TF2. The racism will continue!
Wait, hold the phone. Hold on, I didn't sign off on that part.
Oh, Yes, my bad. We will end racism with free-to-play players.
We're ending racism! After this match, I had my fill for the day and ended with 418 kills. This means I only scored 101 kills, which is less than previous days, but I also had less time to play overall, so I was getting kills at a faster rate than before. So day 3 was a much better experience than day 2, and I felt a lot more level-headed heading into day 4. Whether or not day 3 was a total fluke was yet to be seen, but at least for a moment, things felt nice. But truly, only time would really tell. Going into day 4, I already knew what I wanted to do. Today was gonna be my cheat day, which allowed me to ask my friends for help. Seeing as the challenge was gonna take 7 days, and day 4 was right smack dab in the middle, I figured it could serve as an intermission of sorts. A brief reprieve from suffering alone to instead suffer in the company of friends. However, this did come with the downside that if things got really bad later, I wouldn't be able to have the cheat day in my back pocket. So I was operating under the assumption that day 2 was the worst that the Bison would have to offer. But I felt confident that the decision was for the best. So I rang up my friends, Zenith and Great Blue, and we hopped in a call and queued up for some casual.
No, Zenith, you're cool just like us. You almost have 100,000 subs.
Well, the word almost is doing a lot of heavy lifting in that sentence.
Some generous rounding.
You walked into that! You walked right into that! Come on, am I so bad?
I'm healing a sniper.
So you may be thinking that with not 1, but 2 devoted pocket medics at my side, the day would be a total breeze, right? Using the Kritzkrieg, it would be easy to melt down anything in my path. Well, if past experiences with pocket medics are anything to go off of, that wasn't gonna be the case. Allow me to explain. The Kritzkrieg gives 8 seconds of guaranteed critical hits to play around with. Critical hits multiply the base damage of our weapon by 3. Sounds pretty good, right? Well, that's because it is. Unless you're using the Bison, because as you all know by now, the Bison deals damage in multiple ticks. So whereas a critical hit with the grenade launcher would go from 100 damage to 300, the Bison's damage when crit boosted rises from 20 to 60. So assuming that the Righteous Bison ticks twice like it does on average, that means I can usually expect to deal about 120 damage with a critical hit. That's not even enough to kill a scout. And that's assuming the Bison even ticks twice, because if the Bison only ticks a single time on contact, it will only deal 60 damage. Say it with me, everyone. With the Bison, things can only get worse. Take a look at this clip from Dust Bowl, where Zenith pops his Kritzkrieg on me. Fuck!
Heavy medic right there. They're already.
Oh my god, I'm gonna cry!
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Are you kidding? I watched that, bro. Like, what?
I shoot a heavy, but the projectile only ticks a single time, dealing 60 damage, and I spend the rest of the Kritzkrieg's duration trying to hit another shot, but I fail and die. This weapon is a complete joke. All this isn't to say that the Kritzkrieg was completely useless in conjunction with the Bison, because at the end of the day, it's still 3 times my normal damage output. Up.
It's so huge.
Oh my god! It just goes to show that even utilizing the collective manpower of 3 Tier 2 veterans, the Bison still sucked. We can probably kill this medic, pop it.
I have crits. Okay, we can kill 1 medic.
That's a good trade.
Kill him! You got this!
I'm gonna get auto-balanced. Fuck, there was a typo, I didn't type it right! I didn't type it right! Shit! Pop.
Okay, if you didn't get a single killer, I would have really made fun of you there. I hope you understood.
I got 2!
Nice!
I got 2. Let me cook! Let me cook!
Okay, whenever you want.
Everyone died.
Oh, okay.
I got scared for you.
It's okay. Maybe I... No, actually,
Okay.
yeah, okay. Tell me when. It doesn't say anything.
They just...
I'm sending
yeah.
you away.
Well, I saw
You
someone
let
shooting
me
at you, and I'm like,
down, man.
I saw someone shooting at you, and I'm like, well, he's gonna die because he's using the fucking bison.
I'm gonna
And then
die
there's,
of disappoint because you're being a
Okay,
bad
you know what I'm
friend.
just saying? You know what I'm just saying?
You can't make that a vocal take, man. That one cannot become a vocal take. I crossed the halfway point. I have 513 kills now.
Oh my god. Wait, you've actually, like, you've done a lot today.
Yeah, I wonder what could have contributed to that.
Just your skill, man. You're just really good.
After using the Kritzkrieg enough, we began to experiment with other medi guns. And if you've played TF2 enough, you know it probably didn't take us long to find a new one. Look, I'm embarrassed to admit it, sure, but in the interest of full transparency, I feel like I need to be honest. We abused the shit out of the vaccinator.
I have
gotta go,
full
Chris.
back. Just run at him. Just run at him.
Okay. The damage boost of the Kritzkrieg was reliable, but the vaccinator was downright unfair for the enemy team. It made me practically invincible. Using the vaccinator, I didn't even really need to aim my projectiles because there was so little concern of me dying, I could shrug off all of the damage I was taking, walk forward slowly, and just use the bison like a melee weapon. I mean, look at this clip, where I tank a heavy's minigun for like 5 seconds without ever dipping below half health, just to annihilate the entire enemy team. Yes!
Vaccinator is so good.
Yeah, that's another one!
Bro, this weapon's so ridiculous, bro.
Dude.
Oh!
my
Oh! It's
huge! That's huge! That's a clip right there! Dude! Okay, if anything deserves the bind, even Blue can acknowledge this. If anything deserves the bind...
That was a Shrek. Like, that's the instances you should be reserving it for.
That is the definition of Shrek. Okay, they're pushing in with a
no
heavy
one
mag.
ever better die. Okay, well, we just win.
We won the game. Down, down, down. We won the game. Down. Oh, vaccinator based.
I love the vaccinator! Suddenly just
skill
holding
issue.
my shovel, standing there, and he couldn't do shit about it! Utilizing the absolute BS power of the vaccinator, it would greatly speed up the rate I was getting kills, and I began to perform very well. I think I...
Why are you bumping me?
Oh my god, did you see that?
That was huge.
I think that was a
What a
double
play.
air shot. Oh, there's a sniper in that window. Hold on, you stay here. You stay here for a second. I'll be back. Promise.
Okay.
A scout always keeps his promise.
Scout always keeps his prime.
I can't rocket jump for shit. Oh my god. It was a sniper in the window. I would have killed him and gotten out if I could rocket jump.
I saw that. I was
No,
trying to...
You didn't. Just pretend you didn't.
Okay. Oh, there's a sniper somewhere.
Oh yeah, I see him. He's in a window. Hold on. Blue, hang tight for a second. I gotta redeem myself.
Good luck.
I did it! See, I can... When the chips are down, I can clutch up. See, I'm back. That's what was supposed to happen the first time. We'd continue playing and progressing through the challenge, and I'd eventually rack up 581 kills on my strange bison, which means in total, I got 163 kills in one day. The largest amount I've gotten yet. Which, considering the circumstances, really isn't that surprising. I am truly sorry I have disgraced r/bison master race with my degenerate tactics. Please don't judge so hastily though, because if you were in my shoes, you would have done the same exact thing. Unfortunately for me, this meant going forward, I was on my own, and all I could do was pray things were smooth sailing from here on out. We are back on day 5? Day 5. Oh man, that's a lot of days. We ended last time with 581 kills. So even when I had 2 Kritzkrieg medics shoved up my rectum so far their healing particles came out of my mouth, we still didn't make a ton of progress. And that was my one cheat day. Day 5 got off to a rather unassuming start. I got placed into a match of Hydro, so it was a bit of a pleasant surprise to say the least. I even hit one of the best clips I got with the Bison so far.
The Bison distraction play. Aw, imagine if that hit though.
Oh! I just read you like a book! Mwah! Hydro! I'm feeling it! I'm feeling the spirit of Hydro coursing through my veins!
I feel it! It's bone cancer.
Oh geez, I'm really sorry. Is it bad?
Yeah.
Needless to say, I was feeling pretty confident. My first lobby went surprisingly well, and I was still coasting off of the good energy from the previous day. But little did I know that this Hydro lobby was the calm before the storm. And what I was about to experience was one of the most miserable times I've ever had playing TF2. It felt like the universe itself had one single goal, and it was to psychologically beat me down until I mentally snapped. And it all started with this clip.
Oh my... What is that, Looney Tunes freaking BS?
No, your eyes are not playing tricks on you. My projectiles were disappearing mid-air. This is due to a collision bug that plagues the Righteous Bison. You may be thinking to yourself, didn't Valve fix that years ago? They did, for the most part. But there are still some spots in the game where it can still happen. And on day 5, I experienced this bug 3 separate times. There was the clip that you just saw. There's this clip on Hydro, where I attempt to shoot a fleeing pyro, only to have 2 of my shots collide with the invisible hitbox of the stairs. Thankfully, I was still able to secure the kill. But if you want to see something truly egregious, look at this. There's a thing there that was blocking my shots. This weapon is bugged to hell. I literally couldn't hit him. I get lucky enough to deal 90 damage in 1 shot to this pyro, but there's some invisible trigger or something that repeatedly blocks all of my following shots, which causes me to die and the pyro to live. I couldn't have done anything different here. I died due to a bug that I couldn't predict and I had 0 control over. On top of all the Bison's other bullshit I have to worry about, I have to live with the knowledge that there's always a chance that my projectile will just give up and disappear in the air, rendering me completely helpless. Every time you think you fully understand how awful the Bison is, it will find a way to surprise you. And this was only the start, because as day 5 went on, things got worse.
Fuck my life, dude! Wait, hold on, that's 600 kills! The big old 600! And all it took was 170,000 damage, 110 pyros, and 8,152 hits.
By sheer force of will, I managed to crawl my way past 600 kills, meaning I was 3/5 of the way there. But I hardly had any time to celebrate or focus on my achievements, because the next few hours would be some of the most rage-inducing gameplay I have ever had the misfortune of enduring. Take a look for yourself.
Scorch shot. Dude, come on. I hit him twice, but each time only took 1 time, so he took about 40 damage. 20 damage. The ever reliable 20 damage meat shot. Fuck me. That's a vac med. That's nice. I hope their family has a nice Christmas. In hell! This is genuinely miserable. This is, with no exaggeration, some of the least amount of fun I've ever had playing TF2. Oh, you got fucking random crits, of course.
As I kept playing, I just couldn't help but think to myself how blatantly unfair and stupid this challenge was. The Righteous Bison deals 20 to 40 damage on average, has one of the slowest projectiles in the game, has a habit of just magically disappearing out of nowhere, and I have consigned myself to getting 1,000 kills with it in 7 days. How? How could a weapon this horrible even exist? I felt like I was losing my mind, going legitimately crazy because of this stupid freaking weapon. I found myself sincerely missing using the Thompson 6000, a weapon I made an hour-long video about purely dedicated to how much it sucks. Because the Thompson has a lot of the same issues as the Bison, and it even has the same projectile speed. But at the very least, it deals a consistent amount of damage. When you shoot someone with the Thompson, you never have to worry about it dealing 20 damage.
We have secured the control point.
20 damage! 23 damage! Point blank, 23 damage! I hit him 3 times and it wasn't enough 4 times, man! To kill a fucking scout! What the fuck? That's a Bison moment right there. Certified Bison moment. Random crit, point blank shot, still not enough to kill. A light class, Mike, a light class. The weakest classes in the game still can't die to a random crit and another point blank shot.
At this point, the challenge felt completely out of my hands because of the amount of luck it takes to get kills with the Bison, and the odds are heavily stacked against me. Even in fringe cases where I actually get lucky with the Bison's random damage, it almost felt insulting. Check out this clip where I somehow managed to kill a heavy from full health in 3 clean shots. Each shot with the Bison here did over 100 damage on average. The Bison is supposed to be used on enemies retreating from you, and here we have a slow-ass lumbering heavy moving towards me, and for some reason, I deal more damage than if I used it the way it was intended. Killing this heavy wasn't about learning the Bison's mechanics or playing into its strengths or whatever. I just rolled 3 nat 20s in a row. When every encounter feels like a dice roll, it's hard to have a growth mindset with improvement. Being forced to use it for hours a day was a soul-sucking experience. And if you think I am exaggerating, I swear I'm not. I double dog dare you to boot up TF2 for yourself and see how long you can last without wanting to swap to literally any other weapon in the game. I hit him 4 times! I strongly considered giving up on the challenge, and I was close to just being done with the Bison forever. Any rational person would have given up 10 times over already. The only driving force keeping me from throwing in the towel was sunk cost fallacy. I had made it this far, I couldn't give up now.
How many
Turns out, I could give up now, at least for the night. I had reached my boiling point, and I couldn't hack it anymore. I called it early and logged off of TF2 because I was at a point where my frustration was taking a serious toll on my gameplay, and I knew things would only continue to get worse. The whole day had been dismal, and I ended it with a total amount of 680 kills. After hours and hours of playing, all I had to show for it was 99 kills. I couldn't even surpass 100 in a day. And looking towards the future, I was dreading day 6. I mean, how couldn't I? This challenge felt genuinely impossible. I only had 2 days left before the week was up, and I needed 320 kills. And if the next 2 days were anything like day 5 was, I was gonna fail, and all of it would have been for nothing. Things had never looked worse.
Well, we're back. Yesterday, I wasn't even able to crack 100 kills. I think I got 99 kills on the dot. Which means today, I'm gonna have to make up the difference because tomorrow is the last day of the challenge. So that means that I've really gotta focus in because yesterday was an absolute struggle. I could barely do anything. So we come down here, we rocket jump up here where the pyro is not expecting us, whiff all of our shots, get out, and kill the sniper instead. See? A flawless execution of a brilliant plan. What can I say? Now, we do the same thing as before where we try to get people to come out of this door.
After the day I had yesterday, it felt like anything would be a step up. If I was kidnapped, injected with poison, and had to walk through a mile of broken glass and Legos to reach the antidote, it would have been a more enjoyable and fulfilling experience than using the Righteous Bison for 10 minutes. But things were looking dire because I needed to make up the difference for the day before, which meant I needed to get 320 kills in 2 days. Which was particularly concerning considering the most kills I had gotten in a day up until this point was 163 on day 4, and that was with 2 dedicated pocket medics. If I wanted to even stand a chance of completing this challenge in the time I allotted for myself, I was gonna need a miracle, and as it just so happens, the universe would finally throw me a bone. During my time doing the syringe gun and bat saber challenges, I discovered that Harvest was the perfect map for farming kills. I would perform exceptionally well on it compared to other maps. But during the Bison challenge, no map seemed to call out to me the same way. Sure, there was Dust Bowl, but Dust Bowl was really only good for farming if I could get a pocket medic, and those aren't guaranteed. I needed a map where I could perform exceptionally well as an individual, and on day 6, it would finally happen. I discovered the perfect map for the Bison, Megaton. It's a pretty recent addition to the game, only being added in like 2024. It's a bit of a notable map because of its generous sightlines. So most matches on Megaton are bound to have lots of snipers, which actually turned out to be quite the boon for me. The most successful strategy I've developed with the Bison so far was Operation Oblivious Sniper from day 3. So a large, open map with lots of room to rocket jump and a plethora of clueless snipers seemed to be the ideal place to farm. Early on in the day, I got placed into a lobby of Megaton that may just be my best performance in a lobby I had done yet. I worked my way up to a 9 kill streak before dying, with no assistance from pocket medics.
Shit. It was a good run though, 9 kill streak? That's pretty good. I'm top scoring. I am literally top scoring.
I hadn't been able to accomplish that since day 2. And that's not all either, because even after my kill streak ended, the kills kept on coming.
Dude, no way! I just airshot that guy. 700 plus, dude, we're making it. We're getting somewhere. This one match is already like making up the difference from last time.
By the end of the match, I earned 24 kills with the Bison, In just one match of Megaton, I had gotten a quarter of the total amount of kills I achieved during the entirety of day 5. Thanks to the boost I got from this lobby, I was well on my way to making up the difference. There was still a shred of hope that I could accomplish 1,000 kills with the time I had left. I just had to stay focused and not let the Bison win the mental game. Because if my patience gives out and I get tilted, I could lose all chances of reaching 1,000. And the Bison was gonna do everything it could to make me quit. Because the Bison is an evil instrument of torture forged in the fires of hell. Here's a moment on Shark Bay where I shoot a pyro 4 times. However, 2 of my shots only tick a single time, so they live with 3 health and I die. If just one of my Bison shots could have ticked 1 more time, I would have gotten that kill easy. But at the end of the day, that's just the Bison being the Bison, and I gotta deal with it. I gotta roll with the punches. A little while later, I would eke my way to 712 kills. Under 300 left to go. I just needed to keep pushing. A short while later, I'd even encounter another friendly Bisoneer.
Wait, we have another Bisoneer here. Oh my god, he got a kill! No way. Bisoneers have to stick together, man.
Bison compulsion phenomenon is a very strange form of mass hysteria, and I don't know what causes it. With a steadily increasing sense of hope building within me, I would keep pushing onwards through the low points and the very, very occasional high points.
Oh my god! Is he just gonna let me kill him with the Bison? No, he's not. He's literally just gonna stand there and tank damage just to fucking flex on me that the Bison does no damage. That was 3 20 damage hits in a row. Dude, I didn't even do 2/3 of what the shotgun could have done in one shot there. Medic, look at me, look at me, look at me in the eyes. In this world, there's 2 types of people. There's winners, and there's losers. Do you want to be a winner, or do you want to be a loser? Okay, well, in order to be a winner, what you gotta do is you gotta equip the Kritzkrieg and pocket me. And that's how you be a winner. You got that? You got that? Okay, that's exactly what I wanted to see. Now, with that type of winning attitude, we're gonna kill them all and pub stomp. We get a devious angle from back here, and then we... I can't freaking believe it. You ever heard of a thing called Murphy's Law?
Even if the pocket medic didn't quite work out, I didn't have to worry for long because I was placed right back into my safe space. I owe this map my life. I promise I'm never gonna make fun of your goofy ass sightlines again. The match was already off to a great start with me getting not just 1, but 2 airshot kills with the Bison.
That was a good one, dude. I airshot him and then shot him again. Dude, that's a ton right there. Get fucked.
And a couple moments later, something amazing would happen. I would discover the most oblivious sniper in the history of TF2. I knew that this was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and I had to capitalize on it. So I made it my sole purpose to target this sniper for free kills for the entire match.
This guy never learns. He just goes right back to the same fucking spot. Check it out. The sniper is gonna go to the same spot. You don't learn. Realistically speaking, at what point do you just rage quit? Dude! Just go anywhere else on the map! Dude! I feel bad. Is this bullying? Look! Kills do not come easy with the Bison. You take what you get.
We have secured the control point.
I feel bad if it wasn't so funny. 10 kill streak. He's gonna come to the same exact fucking spot again, isn't he? I see him. Dude, I saw him on the spectator menu. Hold on, I have 10 seconds to make the greatest play ever known to man. I got him one last time for the road. Thanks to that glorious sniper feeding my strange count, I was making leaps and bounds more progress than day 5.
Bro, no way. He has the collector's edition, the righteous bison. No way.
It's actually a pretty good weapon. It's kind of underrated. Sometimes you shoot someone and it deals like 40 damage. So can I cash in that YouTuber perk? Anyone wanna you run the crit screen? All right, King Bing, here's the scoop, here's the plan. We wait for them to push, then we crits and kill them all using the Bison's penetration. It's a simple plan. It was a simple plan, really. I don't know where it all went wrong. Pop it. Dude, that was juicy though. I got 5 of them off of that.
After a long day of grinding with the Bison, I ended the day with 820 kills. In total, I killed 140 people with the Righteous Bison, which is a sharp increase compared to day 5. Overall, day 6 went much more smoothly. I even made it through the entire day without a single existential crisis. In that regard, things were looking good. However, even if things went better than the day before, there was still cause for concern, because I still needed 180 kills. In order to complete the challenge in time, I would need to perform better than I did on my cheat day with 0 pocket medics at my side. Not only was I gonna need to be on my A game, there were also circumstances completely out of my control that would dictate my success. What if my Bison shots continually did 20 damage? What if there's no oblivious snipers for me to farm? What if I can't convince friendly medics? What if the lobbies I'm queued into were just bad? Even if today went comparatively well, there was no guarantee the next day would be the same. Day 7 could very well be like day 5. All I could do was get a good night's rest and hold on to a fool's hope that somehow, against all odds, I could reach 1,000 kills in time. Here we are. The final day. It's all come to this. It's been a long journey. It's been a painful journey, mostly. Lots of pain. And we currently need 180 kills in a single day with the Bison in order to beat the challenge. So that's gonna be fun. And before we jump into it, there's something I want to show. About 5 years ago-ish, I got this strange Bison. It's currently sitting at 845 kills. I've been using this thing on and off semi-periodically for 5 years and have scrapped together 845 kills. This is 5 years of progress. This is 6 days. Just to put it into perspective, just how much I've had to do in just a short period of time with the worst weapon in TF2. So, I definitely think it's possible. We might have to abuse some Kritzkrieg medics, but hey, I'm used to that at this point. I'm not gonna lie, going into day 7, I was feeling seriously nervous. I started playing TF2 at 4 p.m., and at midnight, it would mark the beginning of the next day. So I only had 8 hours of playtime to reach the goal I set for myself. With 180 kills to go, I needed to be averaging 22 kills an hour. That is an insane rate I need to be operating at to even stand a chance. And that's purely on the gameplay side of things as well, because if I got annoyed, it could very well lead to a scenario like day 5 where I couldn't accomplish anything. So not only would I need to be averaging 22 kills an hour, I would need to keep this pace up for 8 hours without losing my patience. On previous days, if I found myself getting particularly annoyed or angry, I could always take a break and take the edge off. But that was not a luxury I could afford myself on the last day. I had to be locked in from beginning to end. But that is something much easier said than done, because immediately after I started playing, the Bison was already up to its old tricks.
I guess it makes sense, though. I hit him 3 times, 40 damage each. He lives with 13 health. Just about, roughly. You could literally run nothing in your secondary slot, and it would be more beneficial than using the Bison.
And from here, things would only devolve further, as I would proceed to play 4 consecutive matches in a row where I couldn't get a single kill. I was struggling to make progress, and I could feel the time slipping between my fingers.
I have gone 4 games in a row without getting a single kill. This is awful, dude. I swear to God, the past 4 games have been me hopelessly shooting people and doing 20 damage at a time. It gets worse the more I use it, dude. It deals 20 damage.
I was only in my first hour of playing, and I was already off pace and beginning to struggle to keep up. However, even if things seemed hopeless, all was not lost yet. Perhaps I could power through the final leg of the challenge through sheer force of will and human determination. As you may remember, during early parts of the challenge, it was very evident that I struggled to aim the Righteous Bison's slow projectile. I would constantly flick my mouse to try and compensate for the slow projectile speed, and oftentimes, it would lead to my projectile going in a wildly different direction, completely missing the mark. Like this clip from early on in the challenge on Harvest. I see a Demo Knight approach my medic, and instead of taking the time to properly line up a shot, I wiggle my mouse like a madman and shoot. The projectile miraculously connects somehow, and I save the medic's life. This shot was a total fluke. For every crazy flick I land, there's 10 embarrassing clips of me whiffing every shot. However, through the hours of experience I had built up throughout the last 7 days, my aim began to substantially improve. I learned that I need to rely less on goofy flicks and more on tracking my targets, baiting them into a predictable direction, and shooting there instead. My aim had undoubtedly improved with the Bison. I just had to hope that the Bison would reward my skill with better luck.
He had like 2 health left, man. If the Bison ticked one more time, if the randomizer was just in my favor that one fucking time.
That was looking pretty unlikely. Nonetheless, I continued onward. After another particularly good lobby of Megaton allowed me to do some catching up, I made it to 900 kills.
900! That means we have 100 on the dot to go. We are eking ever closer.
If I could just keep it together and stay on pace for a few more hours, this could very well be possible. But even if I tried to keep my morale up and get kills as fast as I could, the clock simply moved too quick. Time began running low and kills were beginning to slow down. I was putting up a valiant effort, but I had set myself up for failure because the pace I needed to be operating at was simply unsustainable. I began to lag behind, and due to the lack of progress, the Bison being horrendous, and a general feeling of being burnt out after 7 days of using the Bison, I could feel my patience beginning to slip. Like this moment, where I encounter an enemy scout. I'm able to successfully shoot him, but there's our old friend, the 20 damage tick. And because the bison only ticked a single time, the scout lives and I die, which causes me to completely crash out.
God, this stupid f***ing weapon sucks so much f***ing d***. How can a weapon suck so much?
Looking back, it's kind of embarrassing how much I let this weapon irritate me. But there's not a single word in any human tongue that can properly convey just how aggravating this experience is unless you try it for yourself. For the sake of brevity, I haven't even shown a fraction of the clips I've had that are just like this. And when you consider that I've been experiencing moments just like this non-stop for 7 days, it could reduce the most stoic man on earth to a babbling lunatic.
I literally can't outdamage the fucking medigun. I can't outdamage the medigun. It deals so little damage. It can't even outdamage the medigun. I'm losing it. I could hit every shot imaginable, and it wouldn't matter. Because as long as there's a medic healing somebody, it literally can't outdamage the medigun. We are just over 50 kills away from the goal. We are so close. I can almost taste it.
Oh, it's delicious.
Oh! Things were looking bad. After almost 7 hours of playing, I only made it to 951 kills. That means that in about 1 hour, I needed 49 kills. That's over double the rate I needed from when I started for the day. Every rational part of my brain knew that this was a fool's errand. I couldn't possibly achieve 1,000 kills in the time frame I set for myself. And it was in this moment of complete desolate hopelessness that this happened.
Oh, he's still not fucking dead? Is he literally out healing with his self heal the damage I'm dealing? Oh my god, dude, I'm gonna go postal.
Pretty much immediately after this happened, I exited the match, logged off of TF2, and gave up. In this clip, I dealt 202 damage to this defenseless medic, enough to kill him with 52 damage to spare. But the Bison was so terrible, its damage output so poor, they were literally able to self-heal faster than I was able to deal damage. It may seem odd that after everything I had endured until this point, that this is what caused me to throw in the towel. With only an hour left and insurmountable odds in my way, it felt like salt in the wound. Like the Bison itself was taunting me. It was the final straw. I gave up. I lost the challenge. But as I sat there at 11 PM, I felt extremely unfulfilled. I allowed myself to lose the mental battle, and I gave up. I thought maybe I could just come back the next day and get the last 49 kills and explain it in the video that I just couldn't quite do it. But that felt like a quitter's mindset, and as I stared at the time slowly running out, I knew I couldn't bring myself to stay down. I only had one option left, and unfortunately, it goes against my initial rule set. I contacted Great Blue and Zenith in a moment of desperation, asking if they'd like to pocket me again. I showed them the medic clip, and they immediately understood and agreed to help me out. If you're gonna be a stickler for the rules, then yes. When operating under the initial rule set I set for myself, I lost. Fair and square. I can always take solace knowing that I made it 95% of the way there, and that's a lot farther than most people would have made it. However, If you'd be so willing as to extend me a little sympathy after the torture I just endured and let me bend the rules a little bit, then that means I still had 50 minutes to get 50 kills. The challenge wasn't over yet. Using the crit streak to my advantage, I was able to massively increase the rate at which I was scoring kills. I was actually on pace to finish the challenge, and knowing the goal was within my reach, I focused in and refused to let the Bison win the mental game again.
Okay.
Huh? Oh my fucking god, dude! I'm gonna crash out, dude! Okay, look, nobody's perfect, alright? But nonetheless, I was gonna reach 1,000 kills, and I was gonna make El Maxo and the people at r/Bison Master Race proud of me. All that stood between me and the goal was 11 kills, and I had 14 minutes to achieve it before midnight struck. But when I loaded into what I knew was gonna be the final match of the challenge, win or lose, I was met with the biggest surprise I had encountered during the entire challenge.
Yeah, that's what Gringulises do. That's what Gringulises do.
That's a good song.
You learn a song?
Yeah, I was kind of vibing there.
Oh god.
Wait, look at the enemy team!
Release.
I was shocked to see that my friend Cyber Wizard was on the other team. He's been a longtime friend of mine for years. And here he is on the enemy team during the final moments of the challenge. I knew what I had to do. I hatched a plan. Cyber was gonna be the final kill. As the match played out, it felt like I finally had a moment of peace. In my final moments, everything was finally lining into place. My aim was on point, I was getting lucky with my ticks, and I even killed Cyber twice. I just had 3 kills left to go, and with the time I had left, I was sure I could do it. I would go on to get a 10 kill streak before dying. That meant I was at 999 kills. I was 1 kill away from beating the challenge. All I had to do was kill Cyber Wizard.
What does that mean?
Oh no, I ruined everything! Also, I got 1,000 kills. Yay! I won the challenge, but I ruined 1,000 kills with the Bison! I never want to do that again, that was horrible.
Well, even if Cyber Wizard wasn't my final frag, in the end it didn't really matter, because I had done it. With mere moments to spare, I reached 1,000 kills with the Righteous Bison in 7 days. It's almost poetic in a sense too. It only makes sense that my final kill with the Bison would be some out-of-nowhere bullshit. After everything I had worked towards, dozens of hours of gameplay, countless 20 damage ticks, I was finally free. With the 1,000 kills secured, I finally had some time to gather my thoughts and reflect on the challenge. I went into it with the same naive thought I went in my other challenges with. If you have enough experience, can you get good with any item in the game? And as far as the Righteous Bison is concerned, my answer is hell no. The Righteous Bison is impossible to get good with for the mere fact that it's too random and inconsistent. Can you get lucky with the Bison? Sure, I have enough clips to back that thesis up. But can you get good? No. And maybe the whole thing wasn't pointless either, because now this video serves as overwhelming proof that the Bison is ridiculously buggy to the point of being fundamentally broken. The Bison in its current state quite literally doesn't function. So, I just have one simple request. Please, for the love of God, Valve, fix the Bison. I don't care how. Literally anything you could do would be a step up from what it is now. Maybe I had to suffer with the Bison so that no one else will ever have to put up with this BS, unfair, stupid piece of garbage ever again. Sorry, r/Bison Master Race. Someone had to say it.